Let's get back to the basics, back to form.
Back to form.
And back in the toy room with the Halloween kickoff episode on October 16th, 2023 of the Not For Everyone podcast. Hey, it's been a hell of a couple months.
Hey, see, what we like to do is we like to start Halloween season in September.
Hey, Mystery Men's kind of
I don't think that counts. But so we didn't do that. But here we are. Mid-October.
It's happening.
Bringing you the NFE Halloween delights.
And I don't think we have a theme or anything. I think what we decided is just scary, scary ass movies.
I decided this because I don't know why. I don't know what. I think I watched a video about this movie. I saw like an ad. I was like, you know what? Fucking Event Horizon is great. Oh. And then I was like, I'm gonna watch Event Horizon. I'm like, fuck, we need to just cover Event Horizon.
Might as well. We already covered Galaxy of Terror. We could just release that episode.
Did we never release that episode?
No, we did. You should go back and listen to it.
Oh, yeah. You just go listen to Galaxy of Terror. Event Horizon is like Galaxy of Terror done right.
Yes. And we'll get into all that. But first off, let's do a cold open. Adam, it's Halloween season. Have you put any thought into your Halloween costume yet?
Well, I'll tell you, with the way my life is now, Bobby.
Your career.
My career. Halloween season coincides with campaign season.
Oh, God.
So what I'm going to be doing for Halloween this year...
Or as I like to call it, not podcasting season.
What? Oh, yeah. Blame this on me, Bobby. Blame all this on me.
Might as well. Go ahead.
So anywho, when I take my kid out trick-or-treating in San Marcos, Texas, down San Antonio Street, where there's going to be like 300 kids.
There's a neighborhood that looks like a fucking... from the movies. It's all Halloweened out. Yeah.
It's fantastic. So when I take my kid down there, let me dress like a clown. In my suit, my jacket, my flashy shoes, hold my little sign that says vote for me. And I don't know what King's gonna be yet, man. Honestly, he hasn't decided his costume. We always build them. We build them by hand. And it's October 16th, and he still hasn't decided between Bender, Shovel Knight, or a Shy Guy. And like all those
That's a tough choice.
It is, and all of them are gonna take time and effort to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that.
I like a good homemade, like kind of obscure Mario Brothers thing.
Sure, yeah.
I've been thinking about doing for years now. I just gotta get the motivation to do it because I think it'd be work intensive, but it would be a cool costume.
Yeah.
I want to, because I think I'm built for it. I want to go as a thwomp.
A thwomp, yeah. It's the big
ceiling stone
the
thing.
Spiky stone that falls from the sky.
All you gotta do is get a cardboard box and make one of those like the end is near sign kind of things.
Yeah.
Over your shoulders.
Shit, dude. I might steal this idea.
Yeah, you can have that. You go as a
I might
thwomp.
just dress King as a thwomp. I'm like, you're a thwomp, damn it. We're making you a thwomp, all right?
You go with those little tiny ones that like bounces from left to right. So tell him he's only allowed to trick or treat
in a bouncing from left to right manner.
Left to right manner.
Obviously, you haven't taken a child trick or treating in a long time.
It's not dedicated to the costume.
Or ever. It's fine. Hey, he has been a Piranha Plant and he has been Bowser, so I mean, it's right in line. It lines up, you know.
I think I'm just gonna go classic Wolfman this year.
We're gonna stop shaving your forehead, let that grow out.
Stop shaving my eyebrows.
Right, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm to pants myself, but I'm like, might have it like shirtless. You want some extra fupa?
That's all you got to do, Bobby.
Coming
is
up,
go
there.
shirtless.
Go shirtless, and
I
don't have to shave my beard.
Yeah,
I put a little dog nose on, and hey, I'm the Wolfman.
Put a little under eye, like glam rock under eye guy. Like
I got my Summertime Frank cutoff shorts.
Yeah.
That's very Wolfman.
That is very Wolfman because, you know, when you're a werewolf and you turn into a werewolf, your pants turn into tattered shorts, a la the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the sign of a werewolf.
It's the true sign of a werewolf. Why is this closet
you
full of tattered jeans?
There's a lot of werewolves in Key West.
Thrill me. You know, there's gorillas in these woods.
Mortis, what's that?
It's all on the reflexes. Chicken's good. I like chicken.
I'd buy that for $1.
Die in the way.
Die in the wind.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I drink your milkshake.
Carpet Day!
me want to be a better man.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
See you at the party, Richter.
This is a Not For Everyone podcast.
Halloween edition.
I'm Crude Rude Dude. I'm here with Snobby Bobby.
Quick and dirty, baby. Quick and dirty. Got to get it out. Quantity, not quality. I almost said quality. That was Freudian.
That was Freudian. But I mean, the irony of us saying we're going to do quantity and not
I like how you were like, hey, so like, what's the theme this year? I'm like, well, we kind of talked about it weeks ago. And then you're naming off all these scary movies. I think we're going to do scary 90s. Is that what you said?
Let's do the 90s.
Let's do the 90s, but we got, let's hope we get 2 more out.
We hope to get 2 more out. So let's just start rambling off some of the titles that we were thinking. And let's see if we get any feedback from our listeners.
So tonight's Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, which is spectacular.
And I'm going to put a rule out there now. No late 90s teen ensembles.
Yeah, we're not talking about Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I don't want to watch, what's the one about the Urban Legend?
Yeah, no.
I don't want to watch Urban Legend.
I
don't want to watch any of the Final Destination.
I was going to say, was Final Destination in the 90s? Final Destination 2 was
gets pretty,
legit.
that series gets pretty awesome.
Yeah. The second one
I did not like it at the time.
But when I think of like the best horror movies of the 90s, I don't think of Final Destination 2.
No.
But I don't think of Scream. A lot of people think of Scream. I don't.
I'll just say Final Destination series has aged well.
Sure.
For what it is.
Okay.
What do you want that, if you want like cool kills in kind of an 80s kill manner, you got Final Destination.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, so Event Horizon tonight.
Horizon.
I say People Under the Stairs.
People Under the Stairs. Fuck yeah.
We already did Nightbreed. We already did
Nightbreed.
Would be on there.
That would be on the list. In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness.
Another fucking Sam Neill special.
All right, should we just start with that, or let's try to think of one more?
There's another one.
Freddy versus Jason.
No, not
Jason X.
Not Jason X. God damn it.
Jason and the Argonauts.
That one's fucking badass, but that misses
good ass 90s.
That misses the decade.
It's a good 90s movie with stop
motion
motion
there
animation.
Was another one. It was on the top of my head. You just said it.
Oh, I know what it was. Jason X.
No, it's fucking Jason X. So anywho, at least, some of those there, right? Like, what are like the best standout horror movies of the Candyman? Fucking
Candyman. Of course.
Fucking,
Candyman.
there were some bangers in the 90s.
Because I obviously, I think I speak for you too. I think you, per capita, on average, prefer 80s horror.
I would say per capita on average, yeah.
Because tonally, it's very, I always ascribe it very similar to like when hair metal went to grunge almost. Right. Like, I feel like Candyman is like the Nirvana.
Yeah, of horror
movies. Because it's just not the 80s anymore.
Right. And I would say too, with this list, we don't go with anything. Jason X can't count because
it originated in the
80s. Right. So here's the thing about the 90s though too. In these movies, like all these fucking movies I saw in the theater because I was a teenager and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go see
some riveting
In the Mouth of Madness and go see fucking Event Horizon. So I didn't get to see all those 80 movies that we love in the theater.
We've got to be missing one.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Give us some examples.
Those are the ones that come off right off the top of my head.
Right.
Jason X. But let's not blow our 90s horror
load
just yet. Let's real quick, quick and dirty, baby. We're getting the content out there.
Yeah, content fresh in your face.
Quantity, not quality. All right, here we go. Movie recap. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do it.
Movie recap. So I actually watched a couple of local movies in the local San Marcos area there.
And we just lost all our listeners.
Sayonara. So I want to talk about a guy who's in my town in San Marcos. Apparently this dude's made a bunch of just like weird, fucked up movies. And when I say fucked up, I watched one of them. It's called Bubblegum. All right. You can find this on YouTube. It's actually streaming on YouTube for free right now.
Is it a feature length?
It's a feature length film. It's like a tight hour 20, hour 30 tops, right? Yeah.
Quick and dirty, baby.
Quick and dirty. And it's all like shot on video. It's ridiculously disgusting, perverse, offensive. It's filled with murders, most foul. It's really, really good stuff.
Is it like more trauma or more like who's the guy that did Gummo and Bully?
No, it's more trauma. It's definitely more trauma than it is Gummo. It's like it's like neon.
That's good to hear.
Day glow trauma. You know, it really reminds me of like Tim and Eric shit.
Oh man, I gotta tell you about. I went to this. I just got back from Wichita.
Yeah,
and they have
Wichita,
Kansas. We were visiting some friends out there. And
the heartland of America.
There's not much going on there. It's nice and quiet, and there's not traffic and whatever. A lot of cheeseburger places, that kind of town. A lot of places, a lot of cheeseburger stand on every corner.
Cheeseburger, they all are curds.
It's literally you're walking through a John Cougar Mellencamp song.
Right. Sucking on a chili dog.
Yeah, I mean there was chili dog. There was no Tasty Feast, but anyway.
Did you see anybody sucking on a chili dog?
I mean, that's all that happens outside of Texas. It's just people running around sucking on chili dogs.
So I'm never leaving the state.
If you go north of Texas,
it's all
the way up to maybe like all the way up to the Canada.
It's like
border,
sucking on chili dog country.
You don't go, yeah, it's just, that's all sucking on chili dog country.
There's a big swath of America.
Yeah.
Right down the middle. They call it the Bible Belt. It's really the sucking on chili dog belt.
Unbuckle your Bible belt so I can suck on your chili dog.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Not for everyone, but
unbuckle your Bible belt so I can suck on your chili dog, Adam.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
What if we just did that right now? Like while the audio was still rolling.
What?
We ate chili dogs.
I mean, if you got a chili dog.
We should release an entire episode of like us barely even talking. We're just slobbering on fucking chili dogs.
I mean, hey, look,
for 90 minutes.
We could merge this show with our love of food.
I think we've done that already.
No. I mean, like in studio, we're eating, and so we can market our show.
Yeah, we do that every episode
as ASMR, right?
Yeah.
And so you can be like, yeah, you can listen to us sucking on chili dogs, like right up in your ear holes.
Oh yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea. We'll get more listeners that way.
That's how you get my tasty freeze out.
ASMR, sucking on chili dogs,
Mellencamp edition. Every now and then, it's just like really intense, high sibilous people eating chili dogs on a microphone. And then every now and then you hear, and then it stops, and then it's just more.
You think we can get Mellencamp to agree to that? I don't think his career's doing much anymore.
I think technically you can play like up to like 20 seconds of something or something like that.
So we could just like steal 20 seconds of Mellencamp.
Or you know what?
Every time.
Podcasting, like there's certain podcasting platforms that are like, hey, you have access to all of Spotify if you do a podcast through us.
Really?
Yeah, we don't use that one, but I don't think anyone cares.
Okay, well.
Everything's public domain prior to like 2015 now.
Dracula's fucking public domain.
Dude, I was in Wichita.
Oh, okay.
Not much to do. We went to this place called Half and Half, and it's not a Ross Dress for Less or a Marshall's, but it's not a thrift store either.
Wait a second. Just let me stop you real quick.
Okay.
So you cut off my diatribe about a local director, like a local interesting director and his film, his passion project, and you're fucking talking to me about fucking Marshall's in Wichita, Kansas?
No, I'm talking to you about Half and Half.
It's like a fucking rip-off Ross.
No, it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you, but you keep cutting off my story here. You keep cutting off my movie recap.
Fucking continue.
We'll get back to, we'll get back to that guy.
It's a segue.
Yeah. So there's a place called it's called Half and Half. It's not Marshall's or Ross. It's not that caliber of clout in society.
Oh, so it's like worse.
But it's like not. But it's not a thrift store.
It's like Big Lots.
No, it's all clothes, and it's like either very rejected or very misprinted or very bootlegged or very moth hole covered clothes from department stores.
Oh, that's cool.
There was like a lot of like weird bootleg t-shirts of like bands.
What does this have to do with my story?
This place, the way I described this place was like, who's the director of Gummo? Who's that guy? What's
Harmony Korine?
Yeah, if Harmony Korine like ran was like a merchant and ran a store, it would like I feel like there was like kids eating spaghetti.
It just
in the
seems
back.
like that store is like the place they go buy clothes in Gummo.
Yeah, or just like you just felt like you were in the movie Gummo walking in there. Like, you know how you have like in the back behind stores or restaurants or whatever, there's like that little thing that looks like a shower where you empty the mop bucket.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never worked in retail.
Okay, well, when you go back there's like a drain, right?
They don't let me in the back.
It just seems like that drain would have like a kid eating spaghetti inside it.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
So anyway, I just want to show you this shirt that I got.
So bubblegum. It's viewable
I want you to
right
describe
now.
it. Describe this shirt I got for my wife.
It's a worm It's a Thai Beanie Baby.
It's a Beanie Baby worm.
Wiggly worm. It says, you think you felt true fear? You think you've known actual pain? What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. Like, I just want to know the story behind this shirt so bad.
Fear? You think you've known actual pain?
Anyway.
That was
movie recap.
So yeah, Bubblegum. Go ahead and watch that. That was thanks.
All right, sorry. What was Bubblegum about?
You know what, Bobby?
No, I want to give. This is
here's what you do.
This is Hometown Heroes.
This is Hometown Heroes.
Yeah,
now,
well, tell me about this guy. I'll shut the fuck. I really will shut the fuck.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No, you fucking won't.
At
this point, I'm already irritated.
If I
I had to listen to fucking story about half and half in goddamn Wichita, Kansas.
If I don't,
I knew you were gonna go somewhere with some bullshit.
If I don't,
about you going, I left my house. Look where I went to fucking Ross. Whooped shit, Bobby.
You ever been to TJ Maxx?
Yeah, fucking bootleg Ross. Congratulations, you did it.
That shirt's pretty wild. That's a pretty spooky Halloween time existential crisis shirt.
So the movie Bubblegum is about this guy named Teddy Bupkis, and he's a car salesman, right? He's a real fat, Dayglow, nasty, filthy car dealer.
Dayglow?
Dayglow.
Oh.
So he's got a 13-year-old girlfriend that in one scene he takes to the porno shop and then starts banging on the floor after telling the porno shop guy it was his daughter.
What?
And so then...
Are you sure this is just like a horror movie?
And then he tries to kill his wife. He hires a guy to kill his wife, but that person gets killed. And then all these people get killed. There's drills to the head. There's people losing limbs.
You know, we never have covered a true rape snuff film on the Not For Everyone.
Yeah, I don't think it was rape snuff. I don't think it was rape snuff.
That's good.
There was no rape snuff. There was what's the statutory rape snuff, but there's no stuff involved. I think.
In some countries that's accepted.
Anyways, it's just a barrel of laughs.
It's a cultural thing.
It's a barrel of laughs. So it's called Bubblegum. You can stream it on YouTube. A gentleman named Jeffrey Garcia. We might bring him on here for the Hometown Heroes.
After he hears this, he's gonna really want to.
He's gonna be like, "Wow, they said my name," and then talked about half and half in fucking Wichita. So watch Bubblegum. What you got, Bobby? What did you watch?
All right. Who's your favorite? Let me ask you this: who's your favorite character of the Star Wars universe?
Darth Vader, maybe?
Wrong. It's what's his name? The guy.
Oh, it's Salacious Crumb.
No, not even him. It's what's his name? The guy from the new ones that's not the whiny Darth Vader. What's that guy's name? Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's your favorite, isn't he? He's everyone's new favorite.
Yeah, he's the best Star Wars character
Well,
ever.
he's in movies outside of that amazing character of Kylo Ren.
But why?
I don't know. I guess it's just fun for him. He's beat the game of life. He's just doing side missions now.
Gotcha.
You know, once you play Kylo Ren, you
peaked. You've hit the pinnacle.
Adam Driver is like my mother likes to call him the ugliest man in the world.
He is not a handsome man,
but there's something about him. Anyway,
I mean, look, he's got he looks like Adrian Brody's uglier cousin.
Got hit with an ugly stick.
Just get this thing out of the fucking room.
Yeah, Adam Driver kind of has a Salacious Crumb thing going on.
Yeah, it's like, get your fucking camel out of here, lady.
Adam Driver is either a handsome Salacious Crumb. Wow, that's it. That's what it is. He's handsome Salacious Crumb. Think about it. It's like the same skin tone.
The same pox marks.
Yeah.
I see it.
I can see Adam Driver playing in a real life in a what's it called? A
Disney Plus show.
Disney Plus.
No crumbs about it.
Oh, there's that. But no, I just think
it never got picked up.
An action sci-fi political drama about Salacious Crumb, played by Adam Driver.
Is this what you watch for movie recap?
I wish this was a real thing. ChatGPT, have them make us a series on that. But anyway, movie recap. I watched a movie called 65 with Adam Driver.
But you watched that thing?
Oh yeah. I can't say no to dinosaurs. I can't say no to dinosaurs, Adam.
What did you think about it, Bobby?
Look, it's got dinosaurs and it's got spaceships. It was very schmaltzy.
It was so dumb.
It had a fun it was like, yeah, Last of Us dinosaurs.
I fell asleep.
I could see that.
And I didn't even care to
It looked like it was a cool looking movie.
No, the dinosaurs didn't look that cool. And the whole
what's a better dinosaur that looks as cool as that? And they weren't even like traditional dinosaurs.
Carnosaur. Yeah, no, they're stupid made up.
They're like the ones when you watch like isn't that Discovery Channel show or whatever, or like Animal Planet, where they would do like speculative planets. They're like, this planet doesn't actually exist, but we just made a bunch of shit up, and shot a nature documentary about these fictional creatures.
Yeah, they already did that. It's called Star Wars.
No crumbs about it.
Right. So
yeah, 65, I don't recommend it.
No,
what did you think of it?
I thought it was stupid.
You didn't even finish it.
Yeah, I didn't need to. Like, I got to the part where like he's like, "Oh, my daughter is terminally ill.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go away for a couple of years on a space trip."
Yeah,
like, dude, that's just bad parenting, you know. Yeah. And like, what do you think the kid's gonna do? She's gonna be like, "I love you, Daddy. I'll see you soon." To like, "Fuck you, Dad." So are you done? Is that you watched 65?
You don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. It's got dinosaurs and spaceships though.
I mean, there's that, but there's plenty of video games that.
All right, so if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care how it ended. I mean, he makes like a cautious relationship with some girl that's like a.
It was one of those tropes,
underage.
like a survivalist, desperation, paternal. It's like Waterworld. It was like Waterworld with spaceships and dinosaurs, and no stupid. Janine Triplehorn.
No, it's fucking pointless. What's the point of that?
What's the point? No point. Definitely no Dennis Hopper.
No Dennis Hopper,
and no diarrhea pit.
A lesser Waterworld. So I watched.
You can call it Dino World.
Or you call it 65.
Why is it called 65?
I mean, it's just bad marketing. That's why it's called 65. I'm sure like the written
They thought it was good marketing. That was the problem.
Did it make any money? I doubt it.
I think it did probably made some money. It broke even. Look it up.
I ain't looking up. You look it up.
I don't care.
So
nobody cares. Look it up. Let us know on Instagram.
Let us know on the Instagram. So I watched a new Netflix TV series on the streaming service called Netflix. It's a show by that guy that made all those other horror shows. And it's spooky season, so it's time for Mike Flanagan to get one of his Netflix shows out there into the world. You might remember The House on Haunted Hill, which was spectacular.
With Vincent Price?
No, that was
the House on Hill House.
The Haunting of Hill House.
The House on the House of
The Haunting of the House on the Hinting Hill of Haunts.
Hentai House.
Yes. So the one that came out a couple years ago, so it was on Netflix. It was good. It was really good. It was really scary, really creepy. And they made another one.
There was a one after the House on Haunted Hill?
Yeah, it was the
Haunting of Hill House.
The Haunting of Bly Manor or something. It was okay. I watched it. I'm like, I don't want to watch that again. And then he did like the Midnight Mass. Did you watch Midnight Mass? With the vampires, the churchy vampires?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
I don't know. I remember everyone telling me I needed to watch it.
It was a little heavy on the churchy elements. I'm like, blah, 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 Jesus, salvation, I don't care. But then they were like, the angel this dude worships is a fucking vampire. He's going to eat everybody.
Yeah, we're going to drink blood.
So this new one is called The Fall of the House of Usher.
Dare I say, this guy's work is almost like a better American Horror Story thing going on here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's like American Horror Story for not retarded people.
Hey, I do watch.
I do too. I liked some of those seasons. I didn't say I wasn't retarded.
All right, that's for sure. I haven't watched the new one. I know there's a new one.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched
since the circus one.
But he's also directed a bunch of Stephen King shit.
Okay,
or at least a few Stephen King things. So he made Gerald's Game.
Oh yeah, and he did the 18. Did he do the 1897 one?
No, I don't think he did that one.
1882?
No. He did Dr. Sleep.
Okay, I hated that movie.
I liked it. Why didn't you like Dr. Sleep?
God, I did not like Dr. Sleep.
It had fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm pretty sure Lee from Welcome to Horror was a big Dr. Sleep. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
I watched it a couple times. I thought it was good.
Maybe I needed to give it another shot.
Good cast.
It's just hard to follow up. It's hard to follow up like a movie that was written by Stephen King but shot by Stanley Kubrick to the dismay of Stephen King. You know, and then it's just like, here's Dr. Sleep.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, you're giving it an unfair...
The bar is so high is what I'm saying.
I mean, sure. So what you're doing is what I did to Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, I when I first watched it, I was like, eh. Same thing with the Suspiria remake. Like,
oh, yeah.
When I first watched it, I was like, fuck this,
that.
you know?
I can see
so
that.
I would say watch it again, and you might be impressed. So anyways, The Fall of the House of Usher, right? It's basically a mishmash of a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe stories. There's like The Murder in the Rue Morgue, there's The Raven, there's
The Brave Little
Black
Toaster.
Cat, The Brave Little Toaster's there. All that shit in one.
Monkey Trouble?
Yeah. But it's got a great cast. It's mainly the cast from all the other shows that he makes, right? But the standout role in this is Mark Hamill as a creepy fucking like executioner style lawyer for this big corporate family.
And this is animated?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a show.
I didn't know they still put
Mark Hamill's face
Mark
on
Hamill's
things.
face on things.
Haven't you seen The Last Jedi?
We got enough of that in this room. Am I
You've
right?
seen
Fucking
The Last
nerds.
Jedi? He's right there. He's right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mark Hamill in this room.
I mean, actually, just where I can see, and just in this one,
any iteration of Luke Skywalker.
it's all Mark.
And I promise I don't have an action figure of the baby at the end of episode 3, so it's all Mark Hamill.
What baby at the end of episode?
When they show Luke and Leia being born or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, they didn't make an action figure of those babies, I don't think.
Really?
They probably did.
They probably did.
They
made
probably
action
like
figure
came with
everything.
like birth-giving Amidala
Here's
action
dead
figure.
Padme and her two
Dead
babies.
Padme and her two babies.
That'd be great. Could somebody make that? Can somebody have to make toys? Make dead Padme and her two babies. Twins dead from a fucking C-section. So
You think they'd have better C-section type equipment in the
they got
Star
laser
Wars.
swords.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Like, get that shit right.
You fucking got this. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. She
I think she died of a broken heart.
She died of a fucking broken
when she
heart.
saw her kid looked like Mark Hamill.
Oh, I'll tell you something I've been watching. Speaking of Mark Hamill and Star Wars, I watched all of the new Ahsoka TV show on the Disney Plus,
Mm.
and I watched all the Star Wars Rebels cartoon show.
I watched those. Yeah.
Did you watch all the Rebels?
That's the one with like the owl looking guy, and then there's a Wookiee.
Yeah.
And it's all, and there's not a Wookiee.
No.
There's like a fucking space rogue dude.
Yeah, it's like a
There's-
lightsaber.
And then there's like a lady one.
With the
It's like-
Twi'lek lady.
there's like 4 characters.
Yeah. There's like a chocolate
Yeah, I watched
robot.
like the first 2 seasons of that.
Shit gets real fucking good. But the Ahsoka show is basically the sequel to that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it follows. It's got Darth Maul in the Rebels TV shows. It's got Grand Admiral Thrawn from those old Heir of the Empire books. All that shit. So
We've never gone more than 3 episodes without mentioning Star Wars.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not worried about it either.
How long have we gone without talking about Kurt?
It's been a while.
Has it?
Yeah, I think everyone knows where we stand
Okay.
on
that's
Kurt
fine.
Russell.
So, anyways, The Fall of the House of Usher. It's on Netflix now. Watch that and also watch Ahsoka because it's got what I like. Let me talk a second about Ahsoka. Okay.
Okay, please do.
Ahsoka, my friends and I were referring to it as the sexy ladies of Star Wars
Oh,
because every lady in that show is just a delight to look at. You got Rosario Dawson,
yeah.
right, as Ahsoka.
Mm.
You got Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
These are animated characters.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's a
Oh
TV
yeah, this
show.
is the new Star Wars Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way behind.
It's good. Out of all of the Disney
I still
Plus
need to
TV
watch Andor because everyone says
Andor-
it's like the best thing that Star
Andor
Wars
is
ever done.
fucking-
I'm like, that's a pretty bold statement.
Andor's
I don't know why I haven't
phenomenal,
gotten
bro.
around to
Oh,
that
it's
yet.
So good. It's so good. Andor Ahsoka's great. So Ahsoka's like all the ladies in that show are just smoking hot. And there's like ones of every generation. There's like the 20-year-old, the 19-year-old, like Sith fucking goth
Oh,
girl.
Sign me up.
And then there's like
is she like a Darth Maul
no,
species?
She's just like blonde and frail with the lightsaber.
Blonde and frail.
Oh,
All right.
So
like
dainty.
a blonde and frail.
Yeah, but she got
That's why-
armor and a lightsaber.
That's why I go to the chili dog basket or whatever we called it earlier.
sucking on a chili dog. So anywho,
the chili dog belt.
then there's like the multi-haired colored Mandalorian chick, Sabine from the Rebel show. And she's like in her late 20s. And then late 30s, you got Hera, who's Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a Twi'lek.
I think
you
that
know who Shut up. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
With the fleshy green
with
tentacles
with the big dicks coming out of her head.
off the back of her head. She got 2 of them.
Yeah, she can peg you with those
Oh,
things.
wow.
Happy
you
Halloween
and I have
from the Not For Everyone podcast.
different
Here,
things you do.
I
with
think
the
there's
Twi'lek,
something
brother. I mean,
to
I
what you're
get to
saying though,
that.
because I
think there's something you're saying to that too.
I make
get
fun of
there.
you for like, and it's not from a sincere place. And you're like, I'm like, that's weird. You like these alien chicks, but like, if you think about in a time we grew up, you had like Chitara,
Yep.
you had Jim and the Rocketeers or whatever.
Jim and the holograms.
Jim and the holograms. You had the Rocketeer,
Mm-hmm.
like just like.
Well, you wanted to fuck the Rocketeer?
No. And then there was like, just like I'm trying to think, like Polaris from the X Factor.
She just had green hair, dude.
Yeah, but that's hot.
It was hot.
She was hot.
I mean, Star Trek.
Oh yeah, Star Trek, even the one from the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's hot blue chicks.
Hot alien chicks. I mean,
So I get it. I get
Star
what you're saying.
Wars, all that shit.
It happens, man. It's involuntary.
I mean, what are you saying? Like it's a shameful thing?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying when I make fun of you for being like, "What are you, a freak?" I'm just like, I wanted to apologize.
Hey man, I'm just hoping like it's like a multiverse out there, and one day I can like walk through dimensions and just bang all the different.
What about Porcupine Lady from Nightbreed?
That'd be a tricky one. It'd take a doctor visit afterwards.
What about the Rocketeer?
I mean, if it's
I have this weird formative years kink for the Rocketeer. Adam.
Now, is
that
you
weird?
In the costume?
Is it no?
Is it? I mean, I could see a chick Rocketeer.
Oh yeah, that would work. That'd be kind of hot.
You just now thought of that?
I was just thinking about the true Rocketeer from the movie, played by Jason Biggs or whatever.
That wasn't Jason Biggs. That guy was in like 2 other starring roles. In
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
What if Jennifer Connelly dressed in the Rocketeer outfit?
What if somebody just dressed as Jennifer Connelly's eyebrows?
I wouldn't kick that
Halloween?
out of this orbit.
Yeah. What if somebody just dressed as Jennifer Connelly's eyebrows for Halloween?
You'd just be the caterpillar from Labyrinth. It comes full circle, doesn't it?
She played a dual role in Labyrinth.
Yeah,
she was her eyebrows and the caterpillar.
Yeah, that was a mix of Jennifer Connelly's eyebrow acting chops and Jim Henson's puppet magic.
They worked as one, forming a symbiotic relationship. Movie recap.
Fun fact about Hollywood, there's labor laws with eyebrows.
Yeah.
So you add it too, because they're
each.
So if you have to shoot that worm from Labyrinth all day, you got 2 to work with. But that's twice the work to dress up with the puppet stuff.
It's true, but you know what?
Jennifer Connelly's
she's talented.
She's a professional.
She is, and it's double the pay. So God bless
Triple
her.
the pay. She'll
Yeah,
be in that movie.
Right.
Her Bush played Ludo.
Oh, not for everyone podcast, y'all. And that was movie recap.
Yeah, I guess that was movie recap. Let's go smoke.
Hello, NFB listeners. This is the Pork Chop Moon Man, here to talk to you a second about the most delicious coffee, Fox & Sons coffee. It's like having a nice, warm, hot glass of sunshine poured directly into your face hole. And when it hits your belly there, you feel a warmness, a soothing comfort overwhelms you, and you think to myself, this was made by an amazing fox in that Fox's Sons, and I'm so glad that these small creatures are able to create coffee in such a delicious manner. So, if you want some Fox's Sons, go to the website, type in NFB, you'll get some money off or something, and drink Fox's Sons coffee.
That's Fox, the letter N, sons.com. foxinsons.com. It's coffee made by foxes. All right, Adam, that's enough of that kind of potty mouth talk.
That's enough of that nonsense.
I can't believe you came here and said things like that about Jennifer Connelly.
I don't even remember what we were saying, but yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. We just took a smoke break. That's why I'm winded right now.
It's not the old age and the overweight.
I'm back on the tobacco. What are you going to do?
It's good for you.
If you take a break every 6 years,
you're
fine.
I haven't in the 6 years or 8 years.
Yeah, but you got to change it up.
Yeah.
Cigarettes, dips, cigars, just flip it. Change every few years.
I've found what I like, and I'm going to stick with what I like.
All right, that's respectful. We're covering Event Horizon tonight from 1997.
1997.
One of my favorite actors, the guy that played Robert Kennedy.
Larry Fishburne?
In Killing Kennedy. Larry Fishburne did not play Robert Kennedy.
Oh.
Anyway, Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. One of the 1997's best movies. Let me read this little thing. A rescue crew is tasked with investigating the mysterious reappearance of a spaceship that had been lost for 7 years.
Hi, Snobby Bobby and Crude Rude Dude, the Pork Chop Moon Man. Roger Corman here. Your feature tonight, Event Horizon, is clearly a remake of my own classic, Galaxy of Terror, where we had the marvelous Sid Haig, Robert Englund, and Joni from Happy Days. This has Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, and all the British actors who didn't get to be in Alien 3. We had James Cameron. This has the guy who made Mortal Kombat. Most importantly, among its myriad terrifying set pieces, this version does lack a giant molesting worm. And I feel this was maybe why it didn't set the box office alight on release. But like my own forays into the realm of sci-fi, such as Battle Beyond the Stars, it seems to have stood the test of time. Enjoy. And don't forget to place your vote for Adam Von Art for San Marcos City Council.
I have such one thing to show you.
Oh my God. He knows my secrets. He knows my fears. Vacate, I want off this ship. I can't leave. She won't let you. God help us.
1997's Event Horizon, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
No, the other Paul Anderson, Paul W.S. Anderson.
No relation.
No relation. Apparently, they're both having a rise in their careers at the same time.
Yeah, more or less.
And that's good. I mean, you know, I would say overall, I'm a bigger fan of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies than Paul W.S. Anderson's
You're a
movies.
snob.
But there is a special place in my heart for the film that we just watched, Event Horizon.
I think it's worthy to list off some of my favorite other movies by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Okay.
First one that comes to mind is 1995's Mortal Kombat. Remember that soundtrack? Remember that movie? Let's dance. I was at the right age for that movie to come out.
Yeah.
You know, I have no qualms with the original Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no, I
movie.
saw that shit in the theater, bro. It was badass.
Veronica Vaughn as Sonya Blaze. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my stars and gardeners.
Dude, the fucking ninjas were awesome. Fucking Shang Tsung was the shit.
Right after Event Horizon was Soldier, starring one St. Kurt Russell.
St. Gertrude Russell.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't probably seen that since the 90s, but I don't remember hating it.
I don't remember liking it either, but
all right.
I've been wanting for the last couple decades to give it another chance, but I never have.
Well, every time I think about watching that movie, I'm like, I'm just going to watch Universal Soldier.
I'll just say this. Look, the further you look into Paul W.S.
It takes a turn for a worse
career
pretty soon.
The more angry I get.
All right, next notable one that's recognizable is Resident Evil.
All
right, let's. I don't like those. I just don't like them.
I don't like them.
They're sterile.
They're dumb.
And they're dumb.
They're dumb.
And they're nothing like the video game
you
experience.
You would assume that the guy who made them had never seen a horror movie, even though the guy who made them made one of the best horror movies of the 90s.
I have a feeling that I don't know this, don't quote me. I feel like the Resident Evil movie was probably very studio driven.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of creative control there. They had a certain look, certain actress, certain thing they wanted to do with it. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, but he went on to direct 4 more Resident Evil movies.
Hey, they made money. And he's going to ride that paycheck train. Why not?
Sure.
Alien versus Predator.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
So fucking bad.
It's okay.
Death Race, the Jason Statham Death Race. I remember not hating that.
No, that's not bad.
It's not bad. I might give that one. I do love me some
Jason Statham. And then
Jason
the rest
Statham.
is just like
Resident Evil.
Yeah, there's some other ones.
Oh, and then he made a Monster Hunter movie, which is another Capcom classic. So
it's a video game movie.
He's made a lot of video game movies, but mixed in to all the video game movies,
you had Event Horizon.
AVP, you have Event Horizon.
You're right. Everything that he's directed, for the most part, is a video game movie.
Yeah.
Even AVP.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was an AVP video game.
Yeah.
Before there was ever a fucking.
I don't think there was an Event Horizon video game.
No, there wasn't.
There could have been.
There should have been.
But Event Horizon is, I like to describe, I'm sure I'm not the first person, I like to describe it as a haunted house movie in the stars.
So that's actually what the whole pitch was.
Oh, really?
Of the movie was, let's make a haunted house movie in space. And the guy who wrote it, I did some research on this one, Bobby.
Oh, good.
The guy who wrote it really didn't write anything else afterwards.
That's sad.
Yeah, but they kind of chopped up his script.
Did he die in 9/11?
No, he caused it. So with
with old Osami,
yeah,
George Bush,
whatever. We're not gonna go down that route. Anywho, so originally his original script, it wasn't like hell, it was aliens. And so when Paul W.S. Anderson got his hands on it, he's like, okay, I would rather. This is too much like Alien.
Yeah.
I'd rather keep the setting. Let's do The Shining in space.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I thought I was going to bring this up because there are a lot of movies this reminds me of.
Right.
And one of those movies is The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid if I brought that up, you'd be like, you're fucking crazy.
I mean, no, we've already brought up
But yeah, it really is Alien meets Hellraiser meets The Shining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the way I like to think of it.
In space.
And though that sounds kind of pitchy and hacky, if you're going to synthesize movies together, why not those three?
Well, they made a lot of like haunted house movies in the 90s too.
Yeah, which were mostly terrible.
Right. The Haunting of Hill, the House on Haunted Hill, right? Yeah. They sucked. This was the best haunted house movie of the fucking 90s, of the big ones.
Interesting.
Right? So it was the concept changed in the production of it, right? Like when he got involved.
Thank God.
But there's a story behind it, how the production time for this movie, from the day it was greenlit to the day it had to be finished and in theaters, was 10 months, which is like ridiculously short by any standard.
9 of those is just going to be like set design and special effects.
Well, not in this instance.
Okay.
So they filmed this thing at a breakneck speed. And also the reason that was happening was because Paramount made this movie, right? And Paramount was in the process of making Titanic.
Oh, God.
So Titanic's going over budget.
James fucking Cameron at it again.
They pushed Titanic back. It was supposed to be the summertime hit, but they pushed it back in the year because it was over schedule, right? And they told Event Horizon, you got to move up. So when it was greenlit, they had 10 months from start to finish.
Hey, Paul W.S. Anderson, James Cameron wants to buy a new submarine, so we're going to need you to do this on a tight schedule.
So it was actually filmed in the same studio and right next door to the filming of Eyes Wide Shut.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes, this is a very 1997 time we're talking about here. Much better than 1999, the age of Smash Mouth.
A time of history, this was a better year than the Mystery Men year.
Yes,
I mean, let's talk about the year of 1997.
Let's do it.
Just for fucking like sci-fi movies, right?
Oh,
you got Event Horizon, you got Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You got fucking The Fifth Element. I mean, like those three are all total bangers and they all still fucking hold up.
When was Dark City, 98?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think
let's
Dark
say
City was 98.
Okay, 95 to 98 was some solid.
Crow was 94.
Okay.
Have you watched
the 90s
yet?
had good sci-fi and horror.
Have you watched The Crow yet?
No, I haven't.
Then shut the fuck up about The Crow.
But I know it's like celebrated. You know?
I know what it is.
I know what I've seen bits and pieces of it, Adam.
So to continue the story, the making of Event Horizon.
All right.
And I learned all this off like YouTube videos, all right? So I don't know, some guys and some articles. So
we do the hard research, the
deep dive research that somebody else already did. So the making of this movie, they filmed a bunch of stuff, right? And Paramount was just really looking at the dailies of like the made stuff. But this movie was originally much, much gorier than the released product. So the first test run they did with it was a 2 hour and 10 minute cut, 35 minutes longer than the finished film. 2 hour and 10 minutes. And that included the full like blood orgy of the people in hell.
And you can see this cut?
No, I'm gonna get to that. So there was all this horrifying stuff. They show it to the producers. They show it to the studio, and they're like, "What in the fuck? Like, no, what is this? No."
I think it's Sam Neill on this one,
right?
What is this, bubblegum?
They were terrified. they weren't liking it. The test audiences were horribly disturbed by the film. So the thing about that is, like, this movie, it was cut down substantially, but it is still such a brilliant film. Like the way it uses the gore, it is kind of over the top, even as it is.
Right.
And that's what it was.
Well, that's one of the things whenever you talk to sci-fi people, maybe someone that's more into sci-fi, maybe less prone to like gore, for example. but someone that likes sci-fi openly, you're like, well, Event Horizon's really fucking good.
Yeah.
But then you're like, what if you haven't seen it and if you're not into like pretty intense horror gore, you might want to steer clear of it. That's what I find myself saying when I recommend this movie.
No, I would recommend it to everybody, and don't be a bitch, just fucking watch it.
There you go. Well, Event Horizon, I will say this. We talked about kinder trauma as a theme last Halloween. This isn't a kinder trauma, but this is probably the last movie when I was younger where I thought to myself, that was really pretty fucking scary.
Right.
Like I didn't lose sleep over it, but I was like, that was the last childhood experience with a
movie,
scary
like,
movie.
Geez. Well, speaking of that, I did show it to my 11-year-old son today. I watched it last night, and I watched it like 3 months ago. And then I watched it again today, and I watched it with King, and he really liked it. He was into it.
Yeah.
He watched all the gore, all the Satan orgy, all that. So back to this. They cut it down. They released it. The movie was a fucking flop. It made like $26 million in America on a $60 million budget. So Paramount wasn't happy. They were like expecting Star Trek, but like a little bit darker. And then they see the movie he made and they're like, holy shit. So years passed, right? So another story is the next movie he made was Soldier with Kurt Russell, right? And while he was making Soldier, like that's while they were making it, that was when Event Horizon was out in the theaters. And it was performing abysmally. It was just performing bad.
Oh, no. Did they cut the budget to Soldier?
No. So Kurt Russell tells Paul W.S. Anderson, he says, listen, it's a great movie. And 15 years from now, people are going to be talking about this movie. Like right now, you're upset, but don't be upset with what's happening now.
Kurt Russell worked on The Thing.
Right, exactly. And he's telling him this in fucking 1997. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
because it is a very talked about movie in our circles.
Oh, for sure. It's up there with The Thing.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know if it's as... Yeah, I could see where you're coming from there.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Event Horizon is
It's that crowd, though, that would appreciate The Thing, knows that Event Horizon is fucking awesome.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So that's the truth. When the movie came out and years later when the DVD market was starting to come out, Paramount's like, wow, this movie has a cult following because it did huge in VHS sales. And so they're like, let's get all that stuff, that extra material, and let's release a director's cut. So they've been looking for all of that footage. But when it was filmed was in the 90s and they didn't really keep track of it. So apparently all of that extra 35 minutes of footage that was filmed is lost.
With the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes. He said I saw like the deleted scenes with the director talking about it. He said they found some of it in a salt mine in Transylvania.
Wow, that's weird.
Because they store film in salt mines.
Oh.
In fucking Transylvania,
and it's guarded by like a Knights Templar man. You're like,
be gone from here! I've waited centuries.
He's like, you must choose. And you're like, oh God, this is the B-roll from young Einstein, and then your face melts and you die. Like you're never gonna find the Event Horizon.
Right. That's what happens.
Young Einstein.
We're just all stuck watching the theatrical cut forever. However, the theatrical cut is a very good movie.
Before I ask you what exactly it's about, we got to talk about, this is a strong 90s cast.
Oh, yeah.
First off, your lead, I would say your lead is...
Fishburne. It's
Fishburne. Fishburne. I was trying to do the thing which you naturally do where you're like, well, who's who in the alien crew here?
Right.
But you really can't, because at first I'm like, maybe Sam Neill is Ripley, and it's just not that.
It's not that. It's not that at all.
It looks like that.
It looks like that, and it starts off
and it has some of the same kind of archetypes. But the point is, you got Sam Neill. You got Sam Neill coming off Jurassic Park. He was also in The Mouth of Madness.
He's coming off in The Mouth of Madness.
The Omen 3 from 1980 something. And of course, one of our experienced little renaissance, Sam Neill in Possession. So suffice to say, the Merlin miniseries as well. I'm a Sam Neill fan. I'm a big Sam Neill fan. I think he's a great actor. He sounds like Sam Neill and everything, but that's okay. I like him. I like the way he sounds.
I mean, he is Sam Neill, so he should sound like Sam Neill.
But it's almost in that Tom Hanks way where you're like, that's Tom Hanks. And you're like, that's Sam Neill, that kind of thing.
He did a lot of movies in between Event Horizon and In the Mouth of Madness.
What else did he do?
He did Country Life and The Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And just other shit I never even heard of. And then... You know, I like him in like a lead role in a scary movie because he does sound like Sam Neill, but his characters are very different between Mouth of Madness and Dr. Weir at Event Horizon.
Yeah, the guy from Big, Tom Hanks is different than the one from Philadelphia.
It's like they're talented actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the guy from Big with AIDS, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not playing the piano because my legs don't work.
Is that from Philadelphia?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Do you lose your legs when you get AIDS?
I don't know. What are you in a wheelchair in that movie?
It's not polio.
Fuck.
Wait, was Philadelphia about polio?
It could have been.
And he couldn't play on the keyboard.
Yeah,
on the
he
floor
couldn't jump on the. Yes, that was the joke I made. Just
he was in a wheelchair.
can we just move? Yes, that was the joke I made. Can we just move on from there?
Tom Hanks in Philadelphia.
God damn it. So, okay, we got Larry Fishburne. We got Sam Neill. We got Jolie Richardson, smoking hot. We got Kathleen Quinlan. We got Sean Pertwee.
Is that
from
the guy?
Dog Soldiers?
Is he the British guy?
One of the British guys, yeah.
But he's the one that was Cornwallis in The Patriot, right?
No, that was
the other
DJ.
guy?
That was the other guy.
Yeah, I confuse those characters because they're British guys.
Well, they're both, pretty good British guys,
They're
right?
good British guys.
Like, you see those guys in a lot of stuff. Like, Sean Pertwee's fucking great. He's in Dog Soldiers, man.
Yeah.
He's in fucking Dog Soldiers. He was in Dog Soldiers.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I love that movie.
He was
Neil
in
Marshall.
that Gotham show, I think. Jason Isaacs is the one that you were thinking
Yes.
from The Patriot.
I like that actor.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good. He's a menacing man.
He is. Were either of them in Alien 3? Because they seem like
they would have been.
They seem like they were bald in Alien 3, but I could be, mixing Brits.
Fun fact, if you shave every Brit's head, they just like a fucking nation of corn. Ironically, which came from the New World.
They all just look like the cast of Alien 3. Except for Rock. You could always tell Rock was the odd man out on Alien 3. Great cast in this movie. And it's a very small cast. It's like an Alien cast.
Yeah. That's what I love about this movie is it's my favorite kind of sci-fi where it's on a ship and it's some guys doing some ship shit.
Mm-hmm.
And some sci-fi scary shit happens and they're on a ship. Okay? That's all I need. That's all I want.
Yep.
So let's slow down.
Okay.
Adam, what is 1997's Event Horizon about?
So Event Horizon is about this giant spaceship. It's called the Event.
Lewis and Clark.
It's called the Event Horizon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the name of the ship.
Well, there's another ship though.
The movie is about a ship called the Event Horizon. Okay.
What if they named this movie The Lewis and Clark?
But the movie's not about the fucking ship they flew out to the other ship on.
It was a cool ship though.
So here you go. There's this giant
I
ass
think there was
spaceship.
a Lewis deck and a Clark deck.
I think so. Yeah.
Like, I'm on the Clark deck.
No, it's like it says
Get down in the Sacagawea.
It says starboard and port or whatever.
Yeah.
It was Lewis. Turn to Lewis.
Sacagawea storage room.
Oh God.
It's just full of those
Corn.
weird gold
It's
coins.
filled with corn and apparently the people from the pictures
and engine
of
magic.
Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know.
Engine magic.
I don't know which of our statements that are going to need to be.
We're back,
edited
baby.
was worse.
Quality and quantity tonight on the Not For Everyone podcast. All right, so
there's this big ass spaceship called the Event Horizon, and there's a little opening crawl saying how in 2015 space mining became a thing, right? And by the 2030s, they were making.
they were on the
deeper
moon by
spacer.
2015, like a permanent colony on the moon.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then in 2040, a spaceship went out, exploration spaceship, the Event Horizon, and it vanished. It was the biggest space disaster in history.
Now, this is a pretty standard setup for a rescue mission sci-fi movie. Rescue mission in space.
Well,
There's always another motive, though, isn't there?
There's
always another motive besides, we just got to rescue the crew because they're worth a lot to us. It has nothing to do with that gajillion-dollar time-space-bending spaceship that we put money into.
There is a very Weyland-Yutani feel to them going out there for it.
Ash.
Yes, there's a very Ash vibe to it, sure. But there's not so much...
But why not?
Wait, but there's not so much in this movie when you get into it of where it's the company that wants something.
Yes.
Right? It's what the fucking ship wants.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. So this spaceship went out and it disappeared. And then 7 years later, the current time of the film, they pick up a transmission.
Classic.
From off the coast of Neptune, which is where they were at.
Surf's up.
Where they disappeared from. So they send out a search and rescue crew. Very familiar concept.
Sounds like something I've seen before.
So to go out there and see what's going on. So we meet the crew. We got Larry Fishburne in charge.
We got Dr. Alan Grant.
Sean Pertwee. Now, Alan Grant is not a member of the crew. Alan Grant is a scientist, Dr. Weir. He's the guy who built the Event Horizon in the first place.
Mm-hmm. He is your creator.
Yes. So they get there, they introduce characters briefly, and they all get into the cryopods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just blast away to the side of Neptune.
Can I say something about the cryopods?
Yeah.
And this was good character exposition, too, because I was like, they talk about how Dr. Alan Grant, they're like, are you claustrophobic? And he's like, very. I'm like, well, what the fuck is he doing on a spaceship? And you're like, oh, he's not one of them, right?
Right.
He hasn't been trained in the arts of astronauts.
I thought he was just being quippy.
No, I think, but just those pods. All right, so you're in a green sludge.
Yeah.
It's not like Secret of the Ooze. It's like Gatorade. You're like in a vat of Gatorade for 52 weeks or whatever it is.
52 days.
56 days.
56 days.
And there's not like you'd think if you were in hypersleep, there would be a way that it kind of gradually wakes you up until you acclimate back to like not being asleep. No, this thing just drains all the Gatorade out and you fall right on the fucking floor and hope someone's there to catch you.
Yeah.
That's a rude awakening.
I mean, hey, when you wake up after cryo sleep,
my legs don't work.
Yeah, so you got to fucking hope your arms work. You don't bust your face.
We got a ship to run, motherfucker.
Maybe the ground was the ground was cushioned. I don't know. That's a good point.
I was just like, it's very dramatic. Everyone's just falling out of these Gatorades.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
great set design.
Well, we get our first kind of. I want to just point this out. We get our first taste that this is more going to be a horror adventure. At the very beginning. Like, it doesn't waste any time.
Right.
Because you have Sam Neill's dream.
Right. So the movie actually starts after the opening crawl. You see the Event Horizon floating through space off the coast of Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes inside, and there's just shit floating around, bottles floating around, right? Like anti-gravity. And then you go into what appears to be the bridge. You later find out is the bridge. And there's a frozen body just like spinning, rotating, head over end. And then it zooms in on the face and it's all like crusted up and the eyes are gone and shit. And then Sam Neill wakes up.
Yeah, and this is, okay, so.
It's a good intro.
Remind me of that later because is he dreaming this? Is that the Event Horizon calling him?
Yes.
Or
that is my impression.
Calling his creator?
From the moment that the Event Horizon arrives back in our universe, it is calling. To him.
I agree.
Especially.
I agree.
It's especially to him. I mean, he built the fucking thing, right?
So he agrees to go along on the rescue mission because he knows the most about it. They want to probably try to salvage the Event Horizon because it was very expensive, but ultimately, we want to make sure the people aren't dead, right?
I mean, okay, so they get there, and as soon as they land off the coast, they're floating through space, and they're like, oh, well, why are we here? And then Dr. Weir's like, yeah, so this is about the Event Horizon.
And it's one of those, speak English, motherfucker, scenes.
Well, first they're like, well, that's bullshit because the Event Horizon was destroyed. And he's like, nah, that was all a lie. It wasn't an exploration vehicle. We built a black hole maker. We call it a gravity drive. It makes black holes. We're going to punch a hole in the universe and we're going to fly to the nearest star system.
How do you not already love this premise?
It's a great premise.
Now, I did get vibes. When he's trying to explain it in layman's terms to everyone how it works, he's like poking through the poster, the girly magazine poster.
I've
and there's
seen
a funny thing about it.
In many films.
Yeah, it was reminding me of the Tim and Eric when it's about like the universe documentary. It's like, think of a tube. And inside the tube, you have the entire universe. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like that kind of speech.
Yeah.
Where he's like, well, here's one point in the universe. Here's another point in the universe. Instead of traveling, we just fold it together. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's totally, I got it. All right, that's what we're doing.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a very, very common sci-fi trope. The gravity well inside of the core generator of the Event Horizon will bend time enough for them to go around the barrier and the theory of relativity and be able to pop that hole in the universe.
Yeah, pop it.
So that's what they did. They sent a spaceship out into the void of unknown realms, and then it came back.
It came back.
The cat came back 7 years
So they
later.
aboard the title of the movie, the Lewis and Clark.
No, their ship is called the Lewis and Clark.
They're on the Lewis and Clark,
Yes.
off to see the wizard of
Event
hell.
Horizon. So they get there and they dock up, and again, it looks so good. I mean, the special effects are so fucking
I
good.
feel like there was maybe one point at the very beginning where I felt it was a little poorly aged, but everything else looked great.
I mean, there's a couple things like the fire being shot later on and the one of the spinning balls, but all of it holds up.
It holds up better than like Jurassic Park 3.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because that's what's so great about this movie too. It's not reliant on any of that shit, right? It's a ghost movie. It's not an alien movie. It's a fucking ghost
spacey
movie.
corridor movie.
Yeah.
And you have let's address the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
The premise here is more or less Galaxy of Terror by Roger Corman.
Pretty much.
But which we covered a few months ago. But let me just put it to you this way. Whenever we talk about like what movies would we remake, I always say take a movie that was bad but had a good premise. And I'm not saying I dislike Galaxy of Terror. You know what I mean, though?
Right.
It's a slicker, more like Hollywood version of that concept.
Yeah.
And I love Roger Corman. I love Galaxy of Terror. I'm just saying it works on both
Event
ends.
Horizon is Galaxy of Terror, but better.
Yeah.
But much better.
Definitely more like...
Well, I mean, Galaxy of Terror is like Roger Corman, the master with a glowing head, is sending you to this war world.
Right.
And Event Horizon's like, nah, we sent a spaceship in a wormhole.
The world from Alien.
Right, yeah. We sent a spaceship in a wormhole and it came back and let's find out what's going on.
Now they're on the Nostromo, right?
Yeah. And so they arrive on the Nostromo Horizon and they dock up, I don't know, and they go in. So there's this, when you get inside the ship itself, the Event Horizon ship really...
Please say what I think you're about to say.
...is its own character. What do you want me to say?
Oh, it is that. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Don't you love the green hallway?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the green hallway is like the hallway to hell. Like,
right.
And they keep going back. Every time they're going back and forth, it's that spooky green hallway that looks like the Emerald City from hell.
So yeah, the way the ship is set up is a long dick-like tube in the middle, connecting a ball-shaped testicle on either side.
Sucking on space chili dogs.
Exactly. So in the middle is the bridge.
SS space chili
and
dog.
The front of it is like where the front is, like that's where the deck is and shit.
Yeah.
And the back of it's where the engineering is and where the fucking space gate to hell is.
Mm-hmm.
So the space gate to hell is like this giant, like constantly perpetual motion spinning ball with like bands around it.
Mm-hmm.
It all has spikes and shit.
It looks like the thing that Jodie Foster built in that movie.
Yeah, exactly. But beforehand.
In that movie, Little Man Tate.
The one with the aliens and the contact of the aliens. So
it was a goddamn father.
So
South Park.
The whole ship itself is basically possessed by evil. It went through a dimensional wormhole
and brought it back.
And it brought back some type of evil force with it.
This evil seems intrigued with the creator of such a ship.
Yeah. It reaches out to him across time and space, apparently, to drag him in and give him nightmares. Why wouldn't he be able to do that? Right.
So he's getting literally called by the demon ship, and as fate would have it, they need him to go out there anyway, which is kind of intertwined, I think. Now, my question is, was Sam Neill, and maybe this is a question for the end of the episode, but was Sam Neill literally possessed by the ship in an evil way at the beginning of this movie?
No, not at the beginning of the movie.
He was just very vulnerable and listening and inviting.
He was very vulnerable because his wife committed suicide. Correct. And so he's all bugged out about
So it's almost like if I don't have closure on the spaceship situation, it was all for nothing.
Right. Right.
It was all for... My wife killed herself in a bathtub.
Because he worked too much.
Yeah.
And then, because he was building the fucking...
That's a dramatic way to off
Because he was trying to build a goddamn gateway to hell.
My husband's too busy working, so I'm going to slit my wrists in a bathtub.
He won't stop going on about that gateway to hell. I'm just going to cut my wrists. That's it. I've had enough, Alan Grant.
Down the street, not across.
I don't know if she cut him properly, but it did the fucking trick.
So Laura Dern killed herself in a bathtub.
Yeah. That was years later. The whole way it plays out is it does a Galaxy of Terror thing where it shows certain characters and like they're seeing their worst fears. Mm-hmm. They're seeing the sins of their past.
But it's not fears like, oh, I'm afraid of clowns.
Oh, I'm afraid to get
snakes.
Fucked to death by a giant worm.
No, which would be cool too, but this is, yeah, right. Yeah, Galaxy of Terror. But this is like deeply rooted, like real life altering miscomforts.
Right. Like there's Kathleen Quinlan, who's a mother.
Terminal child.
Terminal child.
Divorced.
Very sick kid.
In love with her work.
Yep. But, her sick kid, blah, blah, blah. So he's going
to go stay with his father for the summer.
But she'll get him for Christmas. Mm-hmm. But she sees...
Classic space mom.
Her sick kid with like just mutilated holes in the leg with maggots in it and shit.
Yeah.
Just like it just shows it to her. It's finding their worst terrors and show it to them. Now, I watched the movie last night. I watched some videos about the movie and I watched it again. And it made it even more beautiful with a little bit of knowledge behind it, right?
Yeah. Keep going. I love it.
The creation of the ship itself, the design of it, was all based on Notre Dame.
Oh, wow.
The fucking cathedral. They like took the cathedral.
Not the Hunchback.
No.
Or the college.
No. The one in the.
It's like a little Irishman.
And they're like, put him up there. See. This leprechaun in space. So no, they took like the cathedral of Notre Dame and they put it in a computer, like broke apart all the pieces and like built everything out of those Legos. You know what I mean? Like turn that into Legos and then build the ship out of that.
Oh, cool.
So when you're inside.
It's made of Legos?
Yeah, it's just theoretical. But I'm just trying to break down the idea of it. You know?
Building things. That's what Lego core does.
Yeah. I'm obviously a builder.
So when you build a house, you take these like real life Legos and you stack them on top of each other.
You got to use nails, which don't come with Legos because they're kind of built into the Lego. Yeah. You have to get some nails. Just think of it as like sharp Legos, you know?
You gotta get
pounded in there.
Fortified Legos.
But
that'd be funny if like there was like a construction training or something where the guy just talked in like Legos.
In Lego terminology.
He has like hands that are just like
little like
claws.
Imagine that you have like the bendy piece, the bendy Lego. That's how we're gonna build this foundation.
Hand me one of those long, thin ones.
So the other thing they were going for, like the director, the cinematographer. Cinematographer was the guy from Aliens.
Yeah.
So when the inside of the ship, they wanted to
probably name him.
Yeah, you should look him up. They had like a techno / medieval feel to it.
Absolutely.
So when the lights are on, it's like the weird off-putting day glow colors, sci-fi colors. I'm not talking about Italians, Bobby. And then when they turn the lights off and it's dark, it looks like cathedral-like, you know, with the spikes and the sharp points and edges and shit. Really did a lot of work in the set designs. And the fact that they pulled this whole thing off start to finish in 10 months, it's really unheard of, you know? If Titanic hadn't been such a cunt, like think if they've gotten like the time to really make this movie the way they wanted it to.
If Titanic had more time to make it a better movie.
Right. They've got cutting off some of the Titanic.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame. I mean, I get it, but like, I still think this movie came out swimmingly.
It did. There's definitely
whether
like,
James Cameron got a new submarine or not.
There's definitely alien-like interactions in terms of, you know, the crew, right?
Yeah. So you have the mom that's away from her. I feel like I've seen that in like a Cloverfield movie or something. And then you have like you have Lawrence Fishburne, who is your captain. Very great. He's a great character. Yes. And now that you say that I was watching that the whole movie. I was like, he's a really good fucking character. Lawrence Fishburne as Captain
Miller.
Captain Miller. But his whole thing is like, he is like the tough, no nonsense leadership quality.
Right. Like I'm here for my people. I'm getting all my people.
His vulnerability is he has a perfect record and never lost a crew member. And then he had, so he's lost one crew member and that's what's been eating away at him. So he's struggling with his natural leadership skills being challenged by the pains of his past.
He saw a man engulfed in flames and he had to leave him behind to save the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
And that still haunts him. He never even told anybody about that, but the ship fucking knew and a guy on fire was just chasing his ass around down the halls.
You know what I like about this character too is he's not one to be defied. No one ever does like the captain's fucking losing his shit.
Right.
Like everyone fucking respects him.
They respect him. He's beloved and respected by everybody on the ship.
Yeah, there's no like mutiny attempt. The only turncoat is
weird.
Sam Neill.
Is weird. Yeah, Dr. Weird. But he
doesn't have a history with him.
Right. And as soon as he gets there though, he seems, even when he's like giving him the initial information, like he's really vague about it.
Yeah, he's a cunty scientist.
And then when they get there, one of the guys gets sucked into the black hole. It just turns itself on and sucks him in.
Is that the Stargate black water?
Yeah. The Stargate water. The Stargate water opens in the middle of the Gothic the egg, Fabergé egg.
Yeah.
And then one of them gets sucked in. And then he comes back out.
Now, is that like the portal to the black hole?
Yes.
Okay.
That's basically the gateway between worlds.
Okay.
That's the black hole device, right? So, I mean, you got to think, though, if you're just popping a hole in reality, like...
Yeah, I was watching that scene, and even when he touches the water, I'm like...
Why?
Why would you even do that?
No, I would run away. I'd be gone. Like that was just a big bright light, and now it's black liquid. Let me stick my hand in there.
Whole arm.
And
he goes, oh shit.
It gets sucked in.
There's some campy 90s lines in this movie. But it's totally forgivable.
It's totally forgivable. It's all forgivable.
Yeah. He gets sucked in there, but did he get spit out or is he dead now?
He gets spit out. So he's
the one that comes back and says, I've seen things that only my deepest, like that kind of dialogue is not great, but yeah.
No, that whole scene with the dialogue was awesome.
That was a good scene.
It was a good scene.
That's the guy that played Robert Kennedy.
Oh, that's the
little young guy?
Jack Noseworthy.
The little young guy? Little Weasley looking guy?
Weasley looking white guy. Yeah. So that was Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay. He's dead. So he gets pulled in.
Bobby Kennedy's dead?
They pull him out. And then so they're explaining to the captain, like, yo, there was like a black hole of nothingness, and he came flying out of it. And Sam Neill's like, no, that's not possible. Oh, that couldn't happen. So Sam Neill, like from the time shit starts getting real fucking weird, which is as soon as they get there, he's like, nah, everything's fine. He's withholding information.
Yeah, right? And even when they're in with the weird Jodie Foster room with the. It's not a Rubik's Cube. There was something like that back in the day. It was like a Chinese puzzle. This is one of those stores you buy a Chinese puzzle at.
It's a spiky ball.
It's like one of those stress reliever things. Anyway, when he's like, they're all like wigged out by the ship at this point, and he's just like, come down here. It's perfectly safe. I'm Sam Neill.
Right.
You know, that whole thing.
They're like, no.
And you could tell even Lawrence Fishburne, Miller, Captain Miller, right? I got it right? He's already like weighing like, do I compromise the crew for the mission or the mission for the crew? He's like ready to get the fuck out of Dodge already.
He's ready to get the fuck out of there from the minute they get there.
Yeah. He's like not into this.
Well, let's tell you what they find. So they find the black hole machine, gets one guy, and then they go to the front, to the deck.
The front
of the boat. And they're in the what do they call the fucking place where all the captains at and shit?
The deck.
Okay,
the cockpit.
The deck pit, the dick pit.
The chili dog pit.
So they're slurping on a chili dog right at the front of the ship. And it's just all black in there. And there's like lightning from Neptune like happening because they're right off the surface of Neptune. So in the darkness, there's like lightning flashes inside the space. It's fucking awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like that floating body that's just like there. And they look around in the light and you see in the lightning flashes, there's just like blood and gore and human body parts just like stuck on the walls. Like plastered onto the walls. Like people were exploded onto the walls.
There's a lot, and I love this effect. There's a lot of use of just diluted blood in this movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like fluidy red water. You know what I'm trying to say? Translucent red water.
Yeah, it's not like thick. It's just like watered down.
And even
blood.
when they do the Shining thing where it comes out of the space vat and the black guy, it's just this like pinkish diluted blood water, and this is all over this movie.
All over.
So you're watching you're watching this convergence of like alien-esque medieval Notre Dame spaceship,
right?
Meets like
wall bleeding
horror elements, throughout the entire movie, including frozen corpses, zombie type things,
right?
Anyway.
Frozen corpses, they turn on the gravity, it just falls to the ground and shatters into a million pieces.
And then there's a little girl that's hiding out.
She's like, they mostly come at night. Mostly.
You picked up on that immediately.
So yeah.
Hello, Newt.
What if James Cameron directed Event Horizon?
No, I don't want to think about it. It's called Aliens.
Oh yeah, that's true. So it is a ghostly, spacey fuck ship. Now, when the dude gets sucked in the little black hole machine, a like energy wave comes out and fucks up the Lewis and Clark. So the spaceship, their escape ship, the ship they got there in.
Escape ship.
The escape ship is fucked, right? So they all have to go into the Event Horizon.
So they're like, we got to figure out how to make the Event Horizon work so we can get home.
Right. And that's what they try to do. They have 20 hours before they run out of oxygen. Yep.
Did they find some explosives somewhere?
No.
Okay, that's later at the end.
You're thinking aliens.
Isn't there a guy with like creamy white blood? He's an android.
Yeah, he was
wires and
betrayed
shit.
him the whole time. Yeah, he was up to no good.
Yeah. So this is quite the predicament.
Yeah,
this is quite the predicament. And one scene I do want to bring up is when they're trying to begin fixing the ship. I guess.
Yeah.
This is when I realized this movie is like really well done visually, aside from just the sets, but it like the lighting and even like the way the camera is so disorienting. I don't like scenes of people crawling through weird hellscape little mouse maze things.
You like Cube?
Yeah, like it's that kind of thing.
You like Crawl Space.
Yeah. I like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
You like Die Hard.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm just saying it
gives you anxiety.
That creates a very specific anxiety.
Yeah, for sure.
And this one is a bright neon green one with Dr. Alan Grant crawling around it, and
off-putting neon fucking green.
I don't know if it's a cube, but it's like a 4 foot by 4 foot little hallway thing.
Yeah, they have to crawl through.
And he finds like this weird circuit board thing that he pulls out the wall.
He knows exactly the one that was smoking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he was following his nose.
They're like, oh, that one's on fire. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
And like when a circuit board's on fire, isn't that a big problem?
But the way they do,
anyways.
Well, that's what he's going to fix it.
Okay.
Well, that's all they had to do. That's all their only hope. But the way they do, like, just the lighting in that scene where it just like goes black and then it'll like flash for a minute, and like it's sci-fi, but it's also super horrifying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a ghost movie in space, a haunted house movie in space.
Oh, another movie like that is 13 Ghosts.
Yeah. This is way better than 13 Ghosts.
It is better than 13.
This is like the best ghost movie of the 90s.
Yeah.
That I can think of.
Yeah.
Because it even takes like the whole, Doom, right? Not the movies, but the video game. They're building the portal and it opens a gateway to hell. I mean, it's very that. I also read that that Warhammer 4K or whatever, right? Like that old fucking game. That was an influence on this too, because in Warhammer they would do black hole faster than light travel.
Warhammer's that old?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And sometimes in the game, like when you go through, like the ships would get possessed, is they come back with like fucking possessed ships or possessed people or something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's fucking awesome. I'm like, they really went with a concept that you haven't even seen this since then, though.
It's familiar, but it's original.
The only thing, another thing that was influential is the movie Solaris, which I haven't seen, but I heard is very, and even Paul W.S. Anderson says very influential.
What is that from? The 80s?
Like 70s or 80s. It's like Russian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's like always on a list. I've never seen it.
Right. It's probably on the Criterion or something.
Yeah, there's probably a Criterion.
You should get the Criterion box.
I will.
But it does seem like Galaxy of Terror.
Only better.
Only just so much better. The one thing I wonder, though, is they did cut 35 minutes of footage out of this, right? And like in Galaxy of Terror, it did go into showing every character's fear. Like what was there.
Right. It doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that with this.
They skip over a few.
There's a few. And I wonder if like that extra 35 minutes of footage
probably
went into these other characters and what shit they were
Because what did the blonde lady, the fake Renee Russo?
It never showed anything for her. It never showed anything for the other black guy.
So
Cooper.
Yeah, let's talk about Cooper for a second, because
Cooper's great.
He's like your classic charming sexual harassment comic relief of the 90s.
He's just great. I mean, he was more than that.
But he's like, do you want some big black dick in you? Is essentially what he said to her.
He says he's
You want
offering
something
coffee. You want something hot and black inside of you?
Classic pickup line.
It's great.
He pulled it off though, right?
If I was a black
She's
guy,
just like,
I would use
you.
that line. Yeah, exactly.
But what's interesting is those are the two that survive.
Those are the two that survive.
Now there's a whole scene, and I thought they needed to fill time, and it's fine. But whenever he's out like trying to fix, they needed to give him something to do.
Right.
He's out trying to like fix something out on the ship.
Well, they had to fix the ship. It all made sense. It all flowed.
But then he flew off like Sandra Bullock in that movie.
So yeah, to continue in the story, they got to get off. Alan Grant doesn't want anybody to leave because he's become possessed and enchanted by the fucking spaceship and its evilness.
Mm-hmm.
And so he starts killing people, right? Well, Cooper's outside fixing the old ship, but Alan Grant puts a bomb in the Lewis and Clark. And in one of the greatest scenes in the movie, Sean Pertwee's the pilot of Lewis and Clark, and he's looking for the bomb because he knows the bomb. He's like, fuck, I just put this thing back together. We just fixed it. And he opens up, he finds where the bomb is, and he opens it up, and there's 5 seconds left on it.
Yep.
And then it just flashes to his face, and he just like makes this like sad.
I did. Fuck. That was a very powerful, because I remember mentally noting that exact shot. Because I'm just like,
great.
He just looks like, well, fuck. Like there's nothing. If I start running, I got nothing. So I might as well just stand here and look disappointed.
Stand here and look disappointed and blow the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that, because I totally forgot, but I remember seeing that thinking, wow. It's just like, fuck, there's no point.
It's a great movie, man. Soldiers, you know?
So eventually it blows up. So now you have the gateway is blown up, right? The big weird green gateway as well?
No, the gateway hasn't blown up. What's happened is the event horizon is still fine at this point.
Yeah.
Now, Alan Grant has gouged out his own eyes and sees through the unholy hellscape or whatever, and is totally just a minion of the Borg. And so he's going around saying, okay, we're all going back to hell.
Mhm.
I'm taking this shit back where it came from. You're the crew now. And they're like, well, fuck no. We want out of here. They got the last transmission from the crew, and it was just a fucking blood orgy of them fucking each other to death.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a fun way to go, you know?
Yeah. And you have, I was thinking about that because I asked you when I was watching, because I watched this a few months ago, actually, but I never thought about it till last night. The whole eye horror motif where like it's just a lot of gouged eyes. There's a line at the end, and maybe we could talk about it, but it was just like, you must see, or something like that. It's about like seeing like the real horror and you don't need your eyes or something like that. I haven't really thought about it, but there's something there.
There's something there. There's a whole
Or it's like you'd rather gouge your own eyes off than go and see where we're going.
So Alan Grant like gets sucked out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get to that part yet?
Alan Grant doesn't get. Oh, well, we skipped over the part where the kid gets stuck out the window thing.
We should just go over the deaths.
Well, we already kind of have.
Well, there's the guy who gets sucked out the airlock.
Yeah.
So he's the one who got sucked he went into the black hole, and he comes out.
Bobby
like,
Kennedy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I've seen too much, and it's coming for you. So he sucks himself out the airlock, but he
call
lives.
him Baby Bear.
Baby Bear lives somehow,
I
but
think.
they put him in one of the Jello tubes, but he wasn't looking too good.
Oh yeah, that's
he was like, he'll come out like just looking like
this is character's
Jigsaw.
annoying. Put him in the fucking
fucking
Gatorade
Jello.
bottle.
Put him in the Gatorade.
This is Powerade. Gross.
Give me some Monster. So anywho, he's off the table. The lady with the kid, she ends up chasing what she thinks is her child.
Oh yeah,
through the underbelly of the machines.
The Sacagawea level.
Yeah, and just falls to her death in a beautiful, beautiful death.
It's
really pretty.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And then the doctor guy gets gutted alive by Eyeless Weir, and they have him hanging up all flayed open like an angel with his guts all hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
It's very cigarette burns.
And so it's down to just the crazy eyeless fucker and
Dr. Alan Grant.
Dr. Alan Grant and Larry Fishburne.
Yeah, but Rene Russo and Funny Black Guy are still alive.
They're still alive. Yeah, Laura Dern and the Funny Black Guy are still alive. They make it to the front of the ship, and then Larry Fishburne blows up the in-betweens of the ship.
Yes.
He blows up the big green
tube
tunnel.
was your escape back to your universe.
Yeah.
That's what it represented. It was the bridge between the event horizon and like the real world. And that's gone now. There's no escaping, but is there?
So I wonder, because there was like blood flowing down the walls in the front of the ship. Do you think just by detaching it, the evil's gone?
No, I don't know. Maybe, probably. Well, like it's kind of like detaching your arm, right? Like the heart of the event horizon was in the event horizon.
Right.
So if you detach your arm, like, and you throw it down the street, you didn't just fly down the street, your arm did.
Yeah, but your arm's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it didn't have evil in it. The evil's back with the heart.
But the event horizon cut off the front of it, not just the arm. And it kept
No, it was
going.
a metaphor. It's saying your arm. Like if you did that to your arm, that's the same thing as whatever the event horizon did to its little.
So let's just say in this analogy, there's like little interlopers living in my hand, right? And we cut off my arm. My arm's gone, but they can just like take control of my hand now.
There's no evil there. I mean, there could be, I guess. Okay. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
You ask. Don't ask.
This question is.
Don't ask questions if you don't like the answers to them.
None of this makes any fucking sense. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. So the boat's evil. The fucking boat ship is evil. Ghost ship.
The ghost.
This is better than Ghost Ship.
It is better than Ghost Ship.
So the end, we get.
This is better than Dead Calm.
We get an epic fight in a flaming room, a flaming cathedral-like orb room with Larry Fishburne and Dr. Alan Grant, but bald and covered in like runes carved into his body.
Before you describe the end, can I just point something out?
Yeah, sure.
When I say I want a tight 90, oh man, this fucking nails it.
It nails it, bro.
Because there is, and don't get me wrong, I love Mia Slowburn sci-fi,
Sure.
but 90 minutes of spaceship horror corridors that gets exponentially more insane right from the get-go. Like it goes from like, a spooky dream that Dr. Alan Grant had at the beginning of the movie to like flaming, self-inflicted cut,
demon
eye
fight.
gouged demon.
Yeah.
Sam Neill in a span of 90 minutes. And I think that's important.
Right, it is. It is. I mean, when we asked for like, oh, I'd love to watch the 2 hour and 10 minute cut of the movie, right? But it's a tight 90.
That's an arc, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Job here is done.
The job there is done.
Now we get Lawrence Fishburne, Captain Miller, kind of coming full circle. He more or less is forced to die for his crew in a way of closure of letting that other guy die from his past. Right. So all that's left is Laura Dern, Rene Russo, the Bobby Kennedy and the Gatorade, and the funny black guy is left possibly able to escape.
They're able to escape, yeah.
But yeah, there's a big fight scene kind of thing with flaming Sam Neill.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. There's no, you just go watch
There's
it.
a big explosion where you see the
yeah.
ship split in half, and that effect looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then the gravity well goes off, so the ass end of the ship, where Larry Fishburne and alien Sam Neill, they get sucked into the portal. So Fishburne, he got sucked into the portal.
Yeah,
unless the explosion killed him. But don't forget, you keep talking about the creepy green tube. What about the meat grinder room?
Oh yeah.
There's a whole tunnel that's just like a spinny meat grinder.
You gotta have a meat grinder if you're gonna travel through dimensions.
They built the entire set. All that was built. None of that CGI. It's all built.
That's why it looks so good, because it easily could have been
built in a soundstage, right? So it was like a ginormous cavernous soundstage with the entirety of these ships inside of it. And apparently the crew were very creeped out by it.
Yeah, it's like if Pinhead from Hellraiser created the set for American Gladiators.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, there's scenes where there's shit exploding behind them and stuff. And they just look scared. They genuinely look scared. There's a lot of those cool sparkle explosions.
Yeah.
There's sparklers going off when something explodes. I love that.
Sparkler.
I love that in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's a Stone Cold 97 scary classic.
I just thought of something. So let's go over the end, right? The end is the three we just described escape. And they take off. And then it says 70-something days later. And then there's a rescue crew coming into...
You have a pump fake dream.
Right. So they have a rescue crew coming in. And they're waking up Stark. They're waking up Rene Russo, Laura Dern. And so the rescue workers dressed like a stormtrooper and talking to her. And then he takes his mask off, and it's fucked up Sam Neill.
Yeah.
And then she wakes up freaking out, like, oh my God, oh my God. And he's like, it's just a dream. You're safe. You're safe. It's just a dream. You're safe. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So, and I've been thinking
But it's not though.
But hold on. So what I'm thinking is, you're right. Because the movie started with Sam Neill having fucked up dreams, right? When he woke up from his first pod thing, he had the dream about his wife with no eyes. So,
well, there's that. Well, that's like a new trauma in her life, right?
Right.
But what I'm getting at more is at the very end, before the credits actually roll, just the way it almost autonomously feels like the doors are closing, like it still is possessed by the thing.
Like who closed the doors, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what it was going for.
Yeah.
It could have done the cheap early Brian De Palma thing where it just rolls credits after she wakes up and sees Sam Neill. Like I would have still liked the movie.
Right, yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I'd like it better, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to say cheap Brian. It's like the end of Carrie.
Apparently that was always the ending, because when they the only thing they reworked for the ending wise was like the fight with Sam Neill for a while. It wasn't going to be Sam Neill at all. It was just going to be the Burning Man. And they're like, well, no, we need to bring Weir back here.
The Burning Man effect looked pretty good.
It did. It really did. I watched some of the deleted scenes.
That reminded me a bit of Sunshine, that scene.
I was going to bring that up too. I wouldn't say Sunshine did it better though.
No.
I think Event Horizon is better than
Sunshine was just really refreshing to see that movie when it came out. I was like, nice.
I didn't see it until a couple years ago.
I saw it in the theater. I was like, holy shit, like that is a ballsy movie that they just released. It's not going to get any love. But anyway.
I saw Event Horizon in the theater though.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
The doors closing and versus the Sam Neill ending.
Yeah, so when they did the ending, I think like the way it ends with it left like that was probably the intention, right?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't tacked on. It didn't feel tacked on.
No. I don't think it was tacked on.
But in the deleted scenes...
But the jump scare was intended too.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
In the deleted scenes, like one of the things it showed was there's a part where Laura Dern, Rene Russo falls through the tube because there's blood. Like it does that. The big green tub fills with blood and then breaks all over her, right? And she falls down a porthole. Well, after
you got a big green tub at home, Adam.
So after she's running away from him, Weir, all scarred up, is climbing after her upside down the ladder.
See, we need to see things like that,
right? And I saw that deleted scene. You can see that on YouTube.
Why cut that out?
I don't know, because it was too scary. The director saying, "Oh, I really wanted to keep this scene." But
I'm afraid if I saw these deleted scenes or like the full version, it would just piss me off to where I'm like,
I would say that, but I watched all those deleted scenes, then I watched it again.
Yeah.
And it made it
like you saw The Exorcist when they released the cut with like the her walking on the stairs.
He even brought
backwards.
that up. He's like, yeah, it was like that. We were trying to go for that.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
That was pretty creepy.
It is a great scene. So yeah, all in all, Event Horizon is one of the best horror movies of the 90s. 100%.
Bold statement that you say it is one of the best. It is the best ghost movie of the 90s. I think you might be onto something with that. I have to think about it though. Quick and dirty, baby. We've had some issues lately with recording.
Nobody wants to hear the excuses.
We got a kind of a party episode I think I'm going to drop on the Patreon soon where it's like me, you, Austin, and my wife just yakking about Halloween memories, Halloween
Yakking it
movies,
up.
just a Halloween party. So if I release on the Patreon, I don't have to really like produce it or anything. I just slap it up there.
You know what was good in the 90s? The Frighteners.
Yeah, of course.
The VFX don't hold up though.
You don't like The Faculty, do you?
Yeah.
I like The Faculty.
I have to watch it again.
I like
It's been a long
Varsity
time.
Blues a lot.
So maybe we'll be coming back with
What are we doing next?
maybe Candyman, maybe In the Mouth of Madness, maybe
Let's
we'll
do people. We're going to do People on the Stairs.
The
next.
People Under the Stairs.
Let's do People on the Stairs next. Wes Craven classic.
It is that one. I mean, I saw that in the theater, and I think I was way too young to see that in the theater.
It's the first time I saw like a S&M gimp.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was an S&M
He
game.
was just a weird guy.
So I don't know why he's dressed like that. Why is he kissing his sister
And then
like
I saw
that?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, bring out the gimp.
All right,
so,
bye.
watch Event Horizon, people.
All right, bye.
Drink Fox and Sons.